This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show here. We're going to get you week 6, part 3. We got 14 games from Saturday. Before we get into just a couple of things, if you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my sales page at Tony'sPicks.com for more free pick videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you appreciate our work, give us a thumbs up. It helps our channel. Let's get this one started. Bowling Green and Akron college football pick Saturday. Bowling Green fell to 1-3 after their 30-27 home defeat to Old Dominion. The Falcons gained 399 yards, 96 rushing for 2.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 333 yards to the Monarchs, 189 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. Connor Bazelak, 28 of 37 passing for 303 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Akron drops to 1-4. A 30-10 road defeat at Ohio. The Zips put up 214 yards, 18 rushing on 20 attempts. Defensively, they allowed 440 yards to the Bobcats, 236 rushing for 4.6 yards a carry. Ben Finley here, 25 of 38 passing for 196 yards with a touchdown and interception. Bazelak is an experienced quarterback with major conference experience. Bowling Green was competitive as they've covered at Texas A&M and Penn State in single-digit defeats. Akron has been blown out in all three against major conference opponents. The Falcons are rushing for 5.3 yards a carry and completing 65% of their passes for 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Akron running for only 2.1 yards a carry, 5.5 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they allow 210 yards rushing for 5 yards a carry, along with 8.4 yards per pass attempt. The Falcons 7-0 to the spread on the road following a home game. Akron 3-6 to the spread at home. The play will be on Bowling Green minus 14.5. Indiana and Northwestern college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Indiana improved to 5-0 after their 42-28 home win to Maryland. The Hoosiers posted 510 yards, 151 rushing for 3.6 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 411 yards to the Terrapins, 289 passing on 41 attempts. British work here, 22-33 passing for 359 yards with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Northwestern fell to 2-2 with their 24-5 road defeat at Washington. The Wildcats put up 112 yards, 59 rushing for 2.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 391 yards to the Huskies with 247 passing yards on 30 attempts. Jack Lausch here, 8 of 27 passing for 53 yards and 2 interceptions. Northwestern running for 4.2 yards a carry. Their defense is holding opponents at 2.8 yards a carry, along with 6.5 yards per pass attempt. Indiana putting up great numbers on both sides of the football. They did pound a down UCLA team on the road, but Northwestern's always tough at home by making it an ugly defensive style game. Wildcats 5-2 the spread at home, following a road game, playing Northwestern plus 13.5. Virginia Tech and Stanford college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Virginia Tech fell to 2-3 after their 38-34 road defeat to Miami. The Hokies gained 394 yards in the game, 206 rushing for 6.4 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 508 yards to the Hurricanes, 343 passing on 38 attempts. Tyrone Drones, he hit 19 of 33 passing for 189 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. He rushed for 52 yards. Stanford drops to 2-2. A 40-14 road defeat to Clemson. Cardinal produced 361 yards, 236 rushing for 5.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 400 yards to the Tigers, 255 passing on 31 attempts. Ashton Daniels here, 9 of 19 passing for 71 yards with a touchdown and 3 picks. He rushed for 87 yards. Justin Lamerson saw work as a backup, goes 4 of 8 for 54 yards and a touchdown. Stanford is moving the football for 4.5 yards a carry. They're doing a good job defensively against the run. Virginia Tech is not an efficient passing team. On defense, they give up 4.5 yards a carry, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. They do have a road loss at Vanderbilt to open up their back-to-back road trip. The Cardinal did beat Syracuse. They did cover at home in their opener against TCU, play Stanford plus 9. Temple and Yukon college football pick. This one goes off here on Saturday. Temple fell to 1-4 after their 42-14 home defeat to Army. The Owls gained 229 yards, 5 rushing yards on 22 carries. On defense, they allowed 489 yards to the Black Knights with 417 rushing for 7.3 yards a carry. Evan Simon, 19-30 passing for 224 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Simon injured his shoulder and is questionable here. Forrest Brock saw work in the first 2 weeks, throwing for 4 interceptions, 5.7 yards per pass attempt. Yukon improved to 3-2, a 47-3 home win to Buffalo. The Huskies put up 537 yards, 257 rushing for 5.6 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Bulls to 198 yards, 123 passing yards on 36 attempts. Nick Evers, 7-12 passing for 51 yards. He suffered a concussion, questionable here. Joe Fagnano in relief, 11 of 19 passing for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. Temple run game is generating only 2.7 yards a carry. They are allowing 5.9 yards per rush. Connecticut is a good rushing team, averaging 238 yards a game, 5.4 yards per attempt. They have defended the pass well by limiting opponents to 6.5 yards per attempt. Yukon in their lone loss was competitive at Duke, losing 26-21, and have covered 6 of 7 dating back to last season. The Owls 3-9 at the spread in their past 12 road games. Yukon has covered 10 of their past 14 at home play. Yukon near -17. Iowa and Ohio State college football pick Saturday. Iowa improved to 3-1 after the 31-14 road win at Minnesota. The Hawkeyes gained 337 yards, 272 rushing for 6 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Golden Gophers to 288 yards, 209 passing on 37 attempts. Cade McNamara, 11-19 passing for 62 yards. Iowa State 4-0 with their 38-7 road win at Michigan State. The Buckeyes posted 486 yards, 188 rushing for 5.4 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Spartans to 246 yards, 47 rushing for 1.9 yards a carry. Will Howard here, 21 of 31 passing for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Iowa's moving the football on the ground here for 250 yards per game, 6 yards per carry. They defend well. They hold foes to 2.4 yards per run, just 59% completion rate, 6.6 yards per pass attempt. Iowa State is putting up strong numbers on both ends of the field. The Hawkeyes 8-2 the spread on the road. This is the strongest defense the Buckeyes have faced, as the schedule has been easy until they've traveled to face Michigan State. But here will be Iowa +20. West Virginia and Oklahoma State college football pick Saturday. West Virginia improved to 2-2 with their 32-28 home win to Kansas. The Mountaineers produced 443 yards, 148 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 431 yards to Jayhawks, 247 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. Garrett Green goes 15-30 passing for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 picks in the game. Oklahoma State 3-2 after their 42-20 road defeat to Kansas State. The Cowboys posted 490 yards, 126 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 559 yards to the Wildcats, 300 rushing for 8.8 yards a carry. Alan Bowman, 26-50 passing for 364 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. West Virginia has balance with their offense. They are running for 5.1 yards a carry, but only 57% completion rate. Defensively, they limit opponents to 4.1 yards per rush and 59% completion rate. The Cowboys struggle running the football. Their run defense is poor by allowing 5.3 yards a carry. WVU's game plan is obviously ground-based, heavily trying to exploit this Cowboys' weakness there as they have trouble stopping the run. Oklahoma State 8-4 the under as a home favorite, playing West Virginia and Oklahoma State under 65.5. Rutgers and Nebraska college football pick Saturday. Rutgers improved to 4-0 after their 21-18 home win to Washington. The Scarlet Knights gained here 299 yards, 184 rushing for 5.6 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 521 yards to the Huskies, 314 yards passing on 37 attempts. Ethan Kalakmanis, 14-24 passing for 115 yards with a touchdown. Nebraska sits at 4-1 with their 28-10 road win at Purdue. Cornhuskers put up 405 yards, 161 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 224 yards to the Boilermakers, 50 rushing for 2.7 yards a carry. Dylan Raiola, 16-26 passing for 244 yards and a touchdown. Nebraska getting 4.3 yards a carry on the ground. The passing game is delivered at 71% completion rate, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they hold opponents at 2.8 yards a carry, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. Rutgers has a massive weakness in run defense, giving up nearly 6 yards a carry. They're not an efficient passing team either, playing Nebraska -7. Alabama and Vanderbilt college football pick Saturday. Alabama improved to 4-0 after a 41-34 home win to Georgia. The Crimson Tide gained 547 yards, 174 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 519 yards to the Bulldogs with 439 passing on 50 attempts. Jalen Monroe here, 27-33 passing for 374 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Vanderbilt fell to 2-2 after the 30-27 road win at Missouri. The Commodores put up 324 yards, 146 rushing for 4.1 yards a carry. Defensively, they surrendered 422 yards to the Tigers, 216 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Diego Pavia, 14-23 passing for 178 yards with 2 touchdowns. Alabama producing great numbers on both sides of football. This Vanderbilt, though, has shown improvement offensively under the mobile quarterback Pavia. The Commodores rushed for 4.4 yards a carry, complete 64% of their passes for 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Vandy defensively holding teams to 3.7 yards a carry and 6.6 yards per pass attempt. Respect the Commodores' performance at Missouri, covering in that 3-point loss, play Vanderbilt +23. Colorado State and Oregon State college football pick Saturday. Colorado State improved to 2-2 after their 27-17 home win to UTEP. The Rams put up 356 yards, 224 rushing for 5.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 324 yards to the Miners, 48 rushing for under 2 yards a carry. Braden Fowler Nicolosi, 14-22 passing for 132 yards with a touchdown and pick. Oregon State now 3-1 after their 38-21 home win to Purdue. The Beavers gained 445 yards, 341 rushing for 6 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 319 yards to the Boilermakers with 56 passing yards on 17 attempts. Giovanni McCoy here, 10-18 passing for 104 yards. The Rams have a productive run game as they average 180 yards a game, 4.9 yards a carry. Their struggles have come in pass defense where they allow 66% completion rate for 283 yards, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Oregon State is running for 5.5 yards a carry and getting accurate play at quarterback. The Beavers' huge weakness is stopping the run. They give up 166 yards of rushing a game, 6.6 yards per rush. Oregon State here 4-0 to the over on the road, facing teams that allow 5.9 yards per play or greater. Play Colorado State and Oregon State over 47.5. Clemson and Florida State college football pick Saturday. Clemson improved to 3-1 after their 40-14 home win to Stanford. The Tigers gained 405 yards, 150 rushing for 5 yards per attempt. Defensively, they allowed 361 yards to the Cardinal with 236 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Kate Klubnik, 15-31 passing for 255 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. He rushed for 48 yards and a touchdown. Whereas they fell to 1-4 with their 42-16 road defeat at SMU. The Seminoles produced 285 yards, 63 rushing for 2.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 458 yards to the Mustangs, 254 passing on 23 attempts. Brock Glenn in relief, 0-4 passing. A redshirt sophomore who replaced DJ Ugalale, who had a hand injury and was ineffective. Inexperienced quarterback thrown into this mess for the Seminoles. Florida State is running for just 2.5 yards a carry, which won't help Glenn in this spot. They do defend the run, allowing 4 yards a carry. Clemson has good offensive numbers and has defended good defensive numbers. They defended the pass well. and they have good offensive numbers as well here, I should say. Clemson 9-5, though, to the under on the road. The Seminoles have gone under in 6 of 8. Play Clemson and Florida State under 48. Old Dominion and Coastal Carolina college football pick Saturday. Old Dominion improved to 1-3 after their 30-27 road win at Bowling Green. The Monarchs gained 333 yards, 189 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 399 yards to the Falcons with 303 passing yards on 36 attempts. Grant Wilson here, 6 of 14 passing for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wilson is questionable with an injury in the second half. Colton Joseph relieved, completed 6 of 13 passes for 26 yards. He rushed for 65 yards and a touchdown. A redshirt freshman who took 11 snaps last week prior to the game at Virginia Tech. Coastal Carolina 3-1, a 43-24 home defeat to Virginia. The Chanticleers gained 384 yards, 82 rushing for 3.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 525 yards to the Cavs, 384 rushing for 6.6 yards a carry. Ethan Vasco here, 10-21 passing for 222 yards with a touchdown and pick. The injury to Wilson is a concern here. Coastal Carolina is getting great offensive production with 214 yards rushing, 5.1 yards a carry, along with 8.5 yards per pass attempt. They limit opposing quarterbacks to 59% completion rate. ODU is getting inaccurate and inefficient quarterback play. They are allowing 7.1 yards per pass attempt. The Monarchs are 0-2 to the spread on the road, facing teams that average 200 or greater rushing yards per game. Play Coastal Carolina -5. Utah State and Boise State college football pick Saturday. All right, Utah State fell to 1-3 after their 45-29 road defeat at Temple. The Aggies produced 479 yards, 186 rushing for 5.2 yards a carry. Defensively, they gave up 451 yards to the Owls, 271 passing on 27 attempts. Spencer Petras, 26 of 44 passing for 293 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick, returning from injury. Boise State improved to 3-1, a 45-24 home win to Washington State. The Broncos produced 460 yards, 276 rushing for 7.7 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 416 yards to the Cougars with 327 passing yards on 37 attempts. Max Madsen here, 12 of 21 passing for 184 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Utah State defensively allowing 198 yards rushing per game, 5.3 yards a carry. Opponents complete 67% of their passes on the Aggies with 7.3 yards per pass attempt. Boise State offense here producing 8.7 yards a carry with 7.3 yards per pass attempt. The Broncos are defending the run well, allowing 3.3 yards a carry. Utah State 3-11 on the road to the spread. Boise State 7-1 to the spread at home. Against the conference play, Boise State here -26.5. James Madison and UL Monroe college football pick Saturday. James Madison now 4-0 after a 63-7 home win to Ball State. The Dukes gained 524 yards, 236 rushing for 6.9 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Cardinals to 250 yards, 173 passing on 38 attempts. Lonzo Barnett, 20 of 28 passing for 280 yards and 5 touchdowns. UL Monroe sits at 3-1. A 13-9 win at Troy. The Warhawks produced 247 yards of offense, 112 rushing, 2.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Trojans to 260 yards to 71 passing yards on 12 attempts. General Booty completed 1 of 4 passes for 8 yards and a pick. It was benched in favor of Aiden Armenta, who completed 4-6 passes for 108 yards. UL Monroe quarterback situation a concern, especially against this opponent. James Madison rushing for over 5.5 yards a carry, completing 65% of their passes for 10 yards per pass attempt. The Dukes defend well, holding foes to 3.6 yards a carry and only 6.2 yards per pass attempt. UL Monroe's pass defense allowing 75% completions, 6.5 yards per pass attempt. JMU put up 72 weeks ago at North Carolina. The Dukes 7-1 to the spread on the road against the conference play. James Madison -16.5. Louisiana and Southern Miss college football pick Saturday. Louisiana improved to 3-1 with their 41-34 road win at Wake Forest. The Raging Cajuns put up 466 yards, 209 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 472 yards to Demon Deacons, 218 rushing for 5.9 yards a carry. Ben Wooldridge, 20-29 passing for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. Southern Miss drops at 1-3. A 44-7 road defeat at Jacksonville State. The Golden Eagles gained 246 yards, 114 rushing for 3.1 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 509 yards to the Gamecocks, 273 rushing for 5.7 yards a carry. Tate Rodemaker, 3 of 5 passing for 15 yards and 2 interceptions. He was benched for John White, who was ineffective. Southern Miss quarterback situation is bad with inaccuracy and turnovers. Their run game generates just 3.2 yards a carry. Louisiana moving the football for 6.2 yards a carry on the ground, getting efficient play at quarterback. Play Louisiana and Southern Miss to go under total here of 57.5 points. For my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my sales page at Tony'sPicks.com for more free pick videos. Be sure to subscribe. And of course, if you appreciate our work, give us a like and a thumbs up on this video. It really helps our channel. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.